Today's lesson is on the final schwa plus ul sound at the end of words. So usually that ul sound that we're talking about is a consonant LE syllable or a final stable syllable. If you see LE, count back 3, and then usually that will give you the final syllable of the words we're talking about. If you see this, you're going to say tul, dul, gul, bull, full, and pull. Now, ul, though, actually has 3 different spellings at the end of a word. We have the LE spelling, AL spelling, or the EL spelling. Reading these words is pretty easy because they all say ul. However, it gets tricky when we're trying to spell them, because how do I know how to spell that ul final syllable? Well, LE is the most common spelling at the end of a word for this sound. Usually LE is used with tall or deep letters. What I mean by that is your tall letters are K, D, F, tall letters when you write them. Deep letters are those letters that have a tail, G and P. So typically, if you have a tall or a deep letter in front of your ul sound, you're going to spell it with LE. Now our other 2 options then are the AL and the EL spelling. The AL or EL then usually comes when it is after a short letter, M, N, R, V, W, some of the digraphs like SH, or a vowel sound. If you have one of those letters in front of your ul, you're going to spell it with either AL or EL. Now, let's try it. How would we spell this word battle? Bat-tul. So we have 2 syllables, and we're going to spell bat, and then we have to figure out how to spell the tul, ul. This is where we're going to use our spelling options. So, I've written out battle with all 3 spellings, B-A-T-T-L-E, B-A-T-T-A-L, B-A-T-T-E-L. Hopefully I've seen this word written down in print enough that my mind knows the correct spelling is battle, B-A-T-T-L-E, so that's how I'm going to spell it in this word. Let's try another one. How would I spell marble? Marble. Once again, it's 2 syllables. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to spell mar, and now it's time to spell vul. Once again, I have the vul, but how do I spell the rest of it? If I use my spelling options, I can think about the LE, the AL, or the EL. Once I've seen those written down, hopefully I look at it and I can recognize Marvel. Hey, I've seen Marvel comics. So I'm going to use EL in my Marvel spelling. So, just to review, how do I know how to spell that ul sound at the end of a word? LE is the most common spelling for the schwa ul sound at the end of a word. Usually that LE is used with tall letters or deep letters with a tail. AL and EL are less common, but they're still used, especially for those letters that are just short and sit right in the line. However, I want to give you one warning. Watch out for T and D. For some reason, those 2 will sometimes switch back and forth between the spellings. The best thing to do would be to become familiar with your spelling options. Write those words out in different ways and see which one looks right to you.